All right, so this is the SWOT analysis for our pre-seen case study for the real exam being set in June 2024. Now, I'm delighted to see that some of you have already contributed to the SWOT template, which I shared with you. And we'll be going through that and hopefully adding some things and also understanding the things, some things, so that we're all really solid on what we're being told in the pre-seen. Okay, so let's start with the pre-seen case study. And then as we come to points that we want to put into our SWOT, we'll switch and we will put the points into the SWOT. Just one thing I'd like to say very briefly. It's not that important. It's just, something that might be useful for your revision purposes. That when you're filling in a SWOT, try and keep your points short, sharp. Okay, we don't want long paragraphs necessarily. I mean, sometimes it's really useful, and everyone has their own way of summarizing points, summarizing issues. It's just that it's easier if there are short points, which are kind of triggers to what has been said in the pre-seen. And so, rather than the whole paragraph and explanation, etc. Okay, but that's up to you, how you prefer to do it. So it's pet vet services industry, Ireland. Okay. So as we go through it, I want to contribute to the SWOT, and also if you think of anything, if you have any questions along the way, then do not hesitate to ask. All right, so here we go. Procuro, vet services, provides vet services in Ireland, 5th largest in the industry, and has been established for 32 years. Now, I would suggest that is actually quite important. In fact, they're both strengths. Why am I suggesting that? Why am I suggesting that their size and history is a strength?
They'll have a well-established brand, a well-established customer base, experience in the industry.
Good.
Those kind of things.
Good, exactly. And now there's a step after that, because what you've just told me are facts, or likely facts. But as an SBL student, you need to be able to take it to the next level and say, because of those things, because of those factors, we can, it's large, so we can exploit economies of scale. All right? We've been around for a long time, which must mean that we're doing something right. We wouldn't have lasted this long if we weren't doing something right. We'd have gone out of business. So we have the experience, we have the intellectual resources and knowledge resources in order to continue our growth. Number 3, you have a brand, as you said, Arun. We have a brand. We have brand strength, which can be leveraged to extend our product portfolio, for example, or enter new related markets. So it might be some kind of related diversification. It might be some kind of product development strategy. All of these are made possible by those 2 simple facts: size and history. Do you see that connection? Is that clear to everyone?
Yeah.
So if I wanted to write that down, I would simply do something like this: size, so economies scale. So leadership. These are just triggers for me. Possible. Brand. Strength. Leverage 4. Data diversification. Indicates any questions on that? And we've just started, right? It's just the first sentence. Okay. Provides healthcare for pets. Okay. Organizations that employ specialist animal doctors. So what's that? Why is that important? Animal doctors, animal nurses. Why is that important?
It's our staff.
Sorry, Tomasz, go for it.
It's our key staff. For business to operate, we must have those are crucial, important specialist animal doctors.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, without this specialist expertise, we can't do the job, right? We can't run the business. And so this is number one, a key stakeholder, right? They're highly interested, they're highly influential, they carry a lot of power. All right, so we want to keep them. Okay, we don't want them going anywhere else. Also, they're likely to be a scarce resource because they're specialists. Specialists, by definition, almost, are a scarce resource. So that makes what? That makes them a threat, I suppose, in the sense that we don't want them to leave. They could leave. It could, mess up our business. Or we might say, well, actually, this is an opportunity to make sure that we control as many of these as we need at all times, which would indicate that we keep them happy by rewarding them accordingly and recognition and so on. That's an opportunity. Now, with the SWOT, don't scratch your heads thinking, oh, should this be a strength or a weakness or what? It doesn't matter. The point is, get the information on the template. For our purposes, I'm just going to say it's a threat. Okay. So threat. Someone got it here. Oh, you've got it here, actually. Someone's put it down. Who put this one down? Recruitment retention is becoming increasingly difficult.
I put
You
it.
put this one, okay. Fewer people are training, right. Okay, great. So you've got that. All right. I would put something like critical resource focus on retention. Okay. Right. Okay, so yeah, it's tough becoming a vet, which is actually very true. Domesticated or tamed animals which are kept primarily as a source of companionship. They include cats, dogs, and other small animals. Some birds, reptiles, and some types of rodent. Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, there are lots of all of those around. So nothing much to say unless someone else. By the way, feel free to interrupt and contribute. Okay, services. Excuse me, services, vaccinations, diagnosis of health conditions, routine operations, medications, guidance and advice, pet food, and other accessories. So essentially, there are 2 or 3 product lines, aren't there? Okay, the first is the product line which relies on clinical expertise. The second is vaccinations. And the third is the sale of other products. Okay, now, we don't know at this stage whether we're going to be given any profitability figures or anything like that. But certainly, I would suggest that the first 2 are fairly secure product lines. I would suggest that these are cash cows. Okay, taken as a group. Is that reasonable? We don't know how well the product sales are doing, but we might be given financial information on that. And based on that, on that, we might be able to say, well, these are a question mark, or they're a star, or whatever. Depends on the profitability. Is that clear? So what is that? Strength, weaknesses, weakness, or something else? I put it into other information. Third, we don't know. Services are usually provided by consultations with a vet or a vet nurse. Consultations are usually booked on the telephone or online. In Ireland, the average consultancy time is 15 minutes. Okay, fair enough. So some statistics, I suppose. I mean, the fact that it's already being done online is good. There might be an opportunity not only to book your consultations, but to actually give advice online as well. A lot of doctors are doing that now. Okay, so I might put that in as an opportunity. Vets organizations, small businesses run by vets or a group, each includes 1 or 2 clinics. Growth was driven slowly and organically by obtaining new clients. Okay. The number of pets in Ireland increased, size of many businesses grew. So here's an opportunity, growth of market. Yes, I think you picked that one up. Increasing. Yeah, that's there. Growth of market has already been picked, has already been included. Increasing.
Yeah, it's also the first line of the opportunities, the first point, industry and growth.
Yeah, great. Okay, so I won't repeat. As the number of pets increased, size of many businesses, larger organizations began acquiring smaller ones due to potential cost savings, economies of scale, and anticipated acquisition activity will continue over the next 5 years. Okay, so I think, again, we have this point here. It's a strength, okay, that they've already acquired a few small businesses which have been integrated. And that's an important strength. It's a good point to remember. Most recently, multinational organizations, those which have pet food divisions, have been attracted by the industry's profits, have been acquiring vet businesses. Okay, so here's an opportunity perhaps to sell our business. I don't know if we want to, but an opportunity. But it does also tell us that pet food divisions are also growing. So that's an opportunity as well, right? Did you put that one in, Alex?
I think no.
No. Okay. So growth. There you go. Okay. Now the attraction of the industry is that it provides another route to market for the pet food products. Multinationals are expected to continue their expansion through acquisition. Okay. Currently, 3 organizations, multinational, control 52% of the Ireland pet vet services industry. They operate clinics on a nationwide basis. 3 large independent vet organizations which own and operate clinics on a regional basis. Hundreds of smaller businesses, usually employing less than 10 people, operate locally. So there are 3 structures within this industry. Okay, half of these clinics are controlled by 3 multinationals who sell pet food. And then we've got 3 large independent vet organizations which own and operate clinics. They don't tell us how much of how many in the region are controlled by these 3. And they don't tell us how many are they. Yes, they do. There we go. Okay. Anyone pick anything up from here?
So maybe it's the fact that the industry is consolidating and there's kind of a change of the, I don't know, the life cycle of the industry, that it used to be fragmented with a lot of quite small providers. And now it's getting much more consolidated with, let's say, only 3 players having more than half of the market, which might have, consequences for these smaller players, because it's difficult to catch up in terms of, I don't know, cost control or economies of scale and all this kind of stuff with such large international groups, which are also expected, let's say, to probably grow faster and take into advantage this growth of the industry, which is being expected.
Yes, good. So basically the big boys who own over half the industry have the resources, all right, to at least maintain their their market shares, and probably increase their market shares as the market grows or continues to grow. It's the same with the larger independent vet organizations, but these guys are only regional. And there are only 3 of them. Okay, so, and then the small businesses are the ones really who are in the worst possible position, because for all the reasons you mentioned, Tomasz. Okay, now which one is our organization? Which group does it fall into?
The second group that,
Yeah, it's the fifth largest, right, in the country.
yeah,
Yeah, but it says fifth largest organization. It doesn't say, unless I'm missing something, it doesn't say that it's in a group or if it's independent. In any case, I think the biggest risk, of course, is from large multinationals. So what are we going to do, or what can we do, or what should we be thinking about?
So this is, I think, a little bit complex, because on the one hand, there's a risk that PVC might be as a target of a takeover or something like this. But on the other hand, there's an opportunity to take some of this 31% of these small independent ones and to start being, let's say, a real competitor to these three large multinational groups.
By consolidating, yes.
Yeah, if the company has enough resources to take over some of these small independent players and to grow above this 7% and to at least, I don't know, reach this 13%, which is the smallest of the large ones. There's an opportunity to enter into this group of the big ones. But on the other hand, there's the risk that it might be pressured by the big ones. So it's a balancing act. It depends what will be provided as further information during the exam. But I hear from the press scene, I can see that there are these two, let's say, one risk and one opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the risk, of course, is that we won't be able to compete, and the opportunity is that we get together and compete directly. Yes, basically, is that a correct summary?
Yes, that we can take over some of the smaller ones and get big and start to be a real competitor to the big ones on the nationwide basis, because now
yeah. So I mean, exactly, and also, I mean, there are two things. The first is, I mean, we've got 6% of the market. We take over some of the smaller ones. We still need to double in size before we even equal to the smallest of the big boys, right?
but also they compete on international level, and we work on a regional basis. So
So but the thing is that if we take over these guys, the small guys from different regions in the country, we could actually also become national. Depends where we take them over, right?
No, at the beginning it's written that three multinational organizations, they operate on a nationwide basis, and we go on regional basis.
Yeah, we are regional, right? But the smaller businesses, the ones that have 31% of the market, I'm assuming are going to be around the country, right? They're going to be around the country. So if PVS decides to grow by acquisition, they can look for smaller vet clinics around the country. And based on that, they can become national if they take over the right ones in different parts of the country, no?
Yeah, we will be then national, but again, not multinational.
No. Okay, forget multinational for the moment. We're way too small to think about that market development in that sense, in the multinational sense. But national, I'm talking about national.
National, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe we can put this in as an opportunity. Oops. Okay. This you don't sit there learning it. You obviously you don't need to do that. All right, but you know it's here. If in the examination you want to refresh your memories, then the case study will be there. You could just open it up and look. At least you'll know where it is. You'll save time. Okay, 36,000 in the whole country, which is I suppose not too bad. Revenues of 2.5 billion. Okay, industry outlook. Revenue average growth has been 3.5, but we're expecting 6.8% over the next 5 years. Levels of pet ownership have been increasing for a decade, expecting to increase even faster rates over the next 5 years, thereby increasing demand for services. In addition, advances in pet nutrition, diagnosis, treatment, and care leading to longer pet lifespans. So our customers are living longer. We're very happy about that because their owners will pay us for more, for longer periods. I think you've already got that point in there, Alex. I think you put that in.
Yeah, levels of pet ownership are increasing, so it's
Yeah. It's a strength, yeah? Or
opportunity.
there you go. Good. Pet healthcare plans, definitely an opportunity. Yes, the insurance plans. I think that's in the SWOT already. Also an increasing market. All right. And because they're affordable, yeah, you can pay in installments.
Yeah.
Changing attitudes to pets is also having a positive impact on revenue, another opportunity. Increasing amounts of money, taking care of their pets. Necessity, use of, yeah, all right. So basically it's all just saying the same thing, that the market is growing, and it's growing for those reasons, yeah. Costs, staff costs, including training, comprise the biggest proportion of costs incurred by a pet vet organization. Purchases include supplies, products for resale, premises admin, health, safety, etc. Okay, so this is a fact which, I think which is important for us to be aware of. Where are the main costs and what is being bought. There you go. It's some other information. It's just a fact. Okay. If you want to put it in your SWOT, that's fine. Doesn't really matter as long as it appears somewhere. Okay. The clients are getting younger. Yes, new pet owners 16 to 34, which is also good. Why? Why is that good?
New customers.
Well, not only that they're new. I mean, yes, I mean it's good because they replace the old guys who die, but they're going to be with us longer, aren't they?
Yes.
They're going to be customers for longer. Choose clinics where they can travel to easily so they can get there quickly, minimize transportation time, etc. So location is important. Okay, and this is a problem because these guys are only regional, right? So it's a potential threat. Has anyone got that? Anyone put that in here? Weakness rather, not. All right, I'm going to put it in. PVS is regional only. That's why it's a threat. You could have said it's an opportunity, right? For PVS to grow. Doesn't really matter.
I have location of the clinics as opportunity because they are 85% are in the town centers, but we're not yet.
Yeah, but okay, but that's about location of their where they are represented regionally, right? That's an opportunity. It's also an opportunity to go national. Because not only where these guys have clinics is the market growing, it's growing nationally. Correct? So in that sense as well, it's an opportunity for acquisition. Okay, convenient consultation times. I think you've already picked that up. Evenings and weekends. And so these guys are under pressure to extend opening hours. Well, some of that pressure might be relieved by offering online consultations or telephone consultations, right? Many clients benchmark consultation fees charged by organizations in the same area. So they're all about the same price. Many vets organize market education rather than increase consultation fees. Yeah, okay. So they don't want to increase their consultation fees, which is fine and understandable, of course. But at the same time, they can reduce their consultation fees by adding online consultations. And I think we've already got that, haven't we, as an opportunity, is one of the first things we said. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, is that okay?
Yes.
Industry challenges, recruitment, retention of staff, we've already picked that up. Increasingly difficult. Increasing demand because of the rise in number of pets, fewer people are training, because of the rising costs of the training. And these two factors have led to a nationwide shortage. Yeah, we've already picked this up, haven't we? We've said these guys are critical. It's a threat. We need to focus on retention. Long working hours driven by shortage of staff, sharp rise of ownership and client demands are an increasing problem across the industry, challenging negotiations with pet owners who cannot afford treatment or regular occurrence. Any comments on that? On that paragraph? The only thing I would add is this here. Challenging negotiations with pet owners who cannot afford treatment or regular occurrence. So I would suggest that we start to push our pet insurance for these guys, make it affordable for them. So see that as an opportunity. Are you with me? Is that clear? Any questions?
I have as it as a threat, so we can delete it from there.
You wrote it here in a thread?
Yeah, I wrote it in a
Where?
thread. I think up below the long working hours. Yeah, no, go below. Yeah, challenging negotiation there.
Yeah, that's just a fact. Right? So the opportunity is grow sales of pet insurance. Also consider average staff turnover 13% is enormous, right? And absenteeism is 5%. Did you write that down, Alex, or anyone else?
Mm,
We mentioned the fact that there is a problem with finding qualified staff. The market is shrinking, right? And so we need to focus on retention. We've already mentioned that. Current
Yeah.
loyalty is low. I think that's definitely in the SWOT. High level of competition. Yeah, we've picked that up. The competition has fallen. The industry consolidation, competition from other channels is increasing. Okay, so who are our competitors? Large superstores, online pet medication providers, and telehealth. So here is perhaps someone we can make use of. Yeah. To offer online consultations. You agree? Here. The problem with telehealth, of course, is that, you know, they're also a competitor. Okay, pet medication providers. These are online competitors. Would we start to offer our clients these guys' medications? Would you? Arun, would you?
That's a threat for us, right? Because they're selling medicines for the pets online with discount.
Yeah. That's a fact, but what does that mean for us?
Opportunity also for us that we can also implement.
How? See, we could offer it, yes.
Click online.
Go on. We could offer it to our clients. The thing is that it depends where they come from. So, for example, if these are produced in a country where the quality controls are not very high, or a factory where the quality controls are not very high, and our clients' pets die, then that's a bit of a problem. Okay. But if we're sure about quality, yes, it's an opportunity. I would agree. We have these two superstores. We can't compete with them because they're much bigger than us. So they've got the economies of scale. We can't compete with them. So essentially, it looks as though we are going to have to do two things. Number one, expand our product portfolio, so product development strategy. And number two, develop a competitive strategy. Obviously, it's not going to be cost leadership. It won't be focused because we're going for the mass market. So it has to be differentiation strategy. So we want to be able to differentiate our business from that of our competitors to maintain our customer loyalty. And at the same time, we want to be able to offer an attractive situation for our medical staff to work in so that we could keep them. Yeah, does that kind of make sense? Is it hanging together? So I'm just going to put it in here. The couple of implications. Number one, is that clear? Guys, talk to me.
Yeah.
Everyone okay? Any questions? All right. Environmental impact. Is likely. So that's a threat. So we need to start to plan Okay, fair enough. Technology is often recognized as one of the main challenges facing the industry. Advances in human healthcare, such as use of AI and machine learning, are expected to continue to filter down into more advanced medical surgery and surgical and diagnostic vet procedures. Many developments have made the industry more capital intensive, but have led to an increase in the quality and breadth of services which veterinarians can provide, right? So this is, again, part of our product development. Okay, so how might you use artificial intelligence to streamline service delivery costs? Any ideas?
Well, I don't know whether it's artificial intelligence, but in general, technology could, let's say, help to, I don't know, to better schedule the visits, to better plan, let's say, the schedules of the veterinarians, which are scarce resource, and to be able to better predict the I don't know, the intensity of the service which is expected to be delivered, to better plan, in fact. Maybe it's not
Definitely.
Diagnose illness in the pets, I think, can be also used.
Good, yes, good. Absolutely. So AI can be used to do a number of things. The first is to diagnose conditions, pet conditions. It is more machine learning, but anyway, diagnose pet conditions based on symptoms, right? So you're a pet owner and you key in, or you key in your pet symptoms, and you get a diagnosis and a recommendation, which is then approved or not by a qualified vet, right? So you've got the quality control there. That's one way. The other thing is that for each individual client, you can individualize the client's pet's history and make recommendations. We can also use that to build some kind of relationship with the client and say, this is your pet's health, it's like this. These are the things that you may have to face in the future as your pet gets older. Here are some things that we would recommend. And all of this could be automated. And the reason it's AI is because the system is automatically learning, all right, about the lifespan and health profiles of various pets over time, and using it to make those recommendations to pet owners. This also allows us to say to pet owners, look, your pet is 10 years old, for example. Okay, we expect that its health costs are going to go up. We would recommend that you take insurance to cover those costs. We would recommend that you buy these vitamins to keep your pet healthy for as long as possible. Stuff like that, all right? So it's yes, we could use it for our normal administration, for our planning, for the booking of consultations, and so on. But specifically in terms of AI, it's about the system learning about diagnoses, and also therefore allowing it to make recommendations, and also it's about the system learning about each individual client's pets' histories and making recommendations for the future. That's constantly learning, yeah? So Actually, it's an opportunity, isn't it? So I'm going to everyone okay with that?
Yes.
Right, innovation, where were we? Telehealth, we've done that. Okay.
Industry bodies, I think.
Many developments have made the industry more capital intensive, but led to an increase in quality and breadth of services which vets can provide. Some of these new and improved services are expensive to deliver, but technology is also reduced on consultation times, meaning pets can be treated at a lower cost. To clients, technology has also had favorable impact on both business management software used by the industry and communication with clients. Right, so here, business management software, we're talking about potentially big data, yes, for marketing purposes. Okay, everyone happy with big data? Vets must register with the Chartered College, regulates them, etc., etc. Codes of conduct sets out professional responsibilities with respect to patients, clients, the profession, and the public. Standards for Pets program. So 5% hold the higher level of accreditation, right? So again, this is a way of differentiating yourself, is it not? Yes, only 5% have it. So maybe this is also an opportunity. Right, there's a union which campaigns for better workplace conditions. And these guys are getting a little upset at the moment. So that's a threat. I think you've got that here. Unionized staff, there you go. Unions increasingly concerned, which might lead to strikes, absolutely. Legal obligations, compliance with health and safety legislation, protect staff and public. Requirement to display a large notice informing clients that they can request a written prescription. This means client does not need to buy the medication at the clinic treating their pet, but can source it elsewhere, potentially more cheaply should they want to. And provision of or pay another organization to provide on their behalf 24/7, 365 emergency service. Okay. Anyone want to say anything about this? About this? Anyone? Okay, move on. Right, PVS. Fifth largest in the country, established 32 years ago. Organic growth, mainly, although under the current board, it has acquired a few small independent businesses which have been successfully integrated. So I think we've got that already in there in the strength. I think it's the first point. 168 clinics in the south of Ireland, so it's not small. Different size clinics, between 1 and 10 vets. and then you have some kind of centralized facility. All right, so kind of a shared service. 2,500 staff. Wow, it's quite big. Ratio of vets to vet nurses is broadly in line with industry averages. So they're not overstaffed. All right. On the other hand, as you know, we're being told that actually the number of vets is decreasing. And so maybe we want to have fewer vets. So maybe we want to be below industry average. Okay, just let's put it down. I'll put it down in here. Reduce the number of vets. To below industry average. All right. Financial year end 31st of March. Okay, now, you know, this in itself is not particularly important, but if you need to, you need to know where it is, or, you know, in case you need to do some analysis of some numbers. It would be fairly superficial analysis, but it might be important. That's why they've given it to us. Although the prices charged by some other organizations are significantly lower than those charged by PVS, it is differentiated by offering 3 service features which have been responsible for the growth, provided advantage. Okay, location, over 85% are in town centers. Have we got this in our SWOT?
Yes, yes.
Okay. They have car parking for those clients who prefer to drive, are easy to access on foot or using public transport. Now, we were told that this was one of the main things that the customers were looking for, the clients are looking for, right? And so that's good. Yes, it's a strength. We've got that.
Yeah.
Innovation. PBS developed a wide range of innovative services, including therapy for pets experiencing behavioral problems and the use of acupuncture for pain relief. It has won numerous awards for these innovations. So here, you know, this tells us something about, again, its product portfolio. It's doing what we've already thought about doing, yes, increasing the product portfolio and offering higher value adding services. Okay.
I have also added this a strength.
Good. And the quality of service, excellent reputation. Yeah, happy and engaged staff, so they're good at keeping their staff. They provide high quality service. All right, and they give their clients what they want. Have we got that in the strength as well, Alex?
That part I think I have not, but maybe someone
All right,
else.
I'll put it in. Okay, so this tells you something about the culture, yes, of the organization. The culture is one of keeping your people happy, okay, and
Engage,
being innovative.
engage staff.
Yeah. They've won Ireland's Vet Organisation of the Year 11 times. So here is evidence, yes, physical evidence of their quality. But the only thing is, last time was 6 years ago. So the question is, what's happening? Why 6 years ago? Competition has started to decline. Competition has increased. Revenue is declining. Market share has dropped every year. Right. So they offer a very different service culture to PBS, but they're still taking market share. Okay. So this is, well, let's put it into this bit here. No award for 6 years. Losing. Market share and profit to competitors. Mainly on price. Right, so basically it shows us that our customers, our clients are very price sensitive. They're not seeing the advantage of paying more, even though we have nice stuff. Okay, so we need to make their lives easier. And how do we do that? Well, we need to add value. We need to find a way of reducing our costs so we can reduce our prices of some of our services, increasing our product portfolio, that kind of stuff. All right. Peter Procurer retired recently. No involvement in the management, but he still owns 11% of the shares. Okay. Board has 8 executive directors, each including an executive chair. And a recently appointed CEO. Each of the executives own 11% of the shares. It's unlisted and all equity financed. Comments on this? Any comments?
I think that taking into account what we have discussed earlier about this capital intensive, about the fact that the industry is going a little bit more capital intensive and will need to invest in this AI, machine learning, and all this technology. I think it's a good, I mean, the fact that they are not geared at all, it gives them room, let's say, to take some debt and to finance this.
Good.
I think this is...
Exactly. So it's an opportunity, right?
Yes.
To invest by taking debt.
Yeah, I also add non-listed company, there's possibility to be listed and acquire capital.
Yeah, all right, good. Can take debt to invest in technology so that the resources are available, in other words. Okay. Zero gearing. There you go. Anything else here? Any comments on this board structure?
Just a thought, but take also within the context of this, of the fact that the clients are getting younger and etc. I think some kind of marketing director could be missing, that there is no, no person, let's say, directly addressing the marketing strategy in the
There
board.
is a business development director.
Yes, but what what was written as his, let's say, scope of duties, I did not really find. I mean, maybe I'm mistaken, but I did not really find too much of the, let's say, marketing focus and marketing strategies. It was rather to expand the clinics, etc.
Developing
Brand
as well as expanding brand presence.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I think that they're missing nets.
They are missing Neds. We need more Neds.
And because also one of the owners, it's non-involved or it's retired and still possesses shares of 11.11%.
So what? There are lots of shareholders who don't work in the company.
Yeah, but all the rest of the owners are there, and all the rest of these owners of this company are there as executives, but this one is not longer there. So I think that's why we're missing nets. And
So what are we missing, Alex?
non-executive directors in the board.
Yeah, non-execs, I agree. The fact that the guy who started it has left is, well, it's neither here nor there. We don't know how much influence he has on the business. However, it says he doesn't have any active involvement. So he's just a shareholder.
But we also miss the committees.
Yeah. I mean, now remember, it's a private company, so there's not.
Yeah, exactly. This is why I was not really sure about these committees and NEDs. That it's, let's say, for the listed companies, it's like an obligation. But here it's maybe in the context, I don't know, if they wanted to seek some listing on the stock exchange, they would need to, let's say, to adapt their corporate governance and to add a lot of nets, to add these committees, etc. So they are quite far away from this. But this will depend on the context of the questions on the exam.
Agreed. I think for this stage, we can simply say there's a weakness, and the weakness is there's not enough Neds.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the fact that the chair is an executive chair?
It's also a weakness.
Yeah. See, because the chair is supposed to be non-executive. Okay. Yeah, they made the decision not to have these committees, fine. There is an internal audit function which reports to the chief finance officer. Now that is a problem. The internal audit function needs to be independent. Okay. And so it shouldn't be reporting to the directors.
Should report to the board.
Well, it should report to a NED, actually, or an audit committee. COO overall responsibility for the operations. Up to 10 clinic managers report to each of PVS's senior vets, who in turn report to one of 5 district managers. District managers report to COO. Good Lord. It's quite a complex structure, isn't it?
Yeah,
Report-
also very tricky.
I'm just wondering whether how much of this we can actually digitalize. Yeah, span of control of the senior vets. You know, you have clinic managers reporting to the senior vets. So these guys are spending a lot of time dealing with operational issues at the clinic. We don't want them doing that. We want them serving our clients. Yeah, and so maybe there is some way in which we can use some kind of enterprise resource management system to gather the data from all of the clinics. Yeah, so restructuring of our technology to free up expert time and consolidate clinic-wide reports into one database for management and reporting purposes. Why not? It's a very heavy way of doing it. You agree? All right. Okay. Most decision-making is centralized, for example, on pricing, the rollout of new services and salary levels. District managers and senior vets are responsible for generating growth under their management within parameters set by the board and for using resources efficiently and effectively. Again, this could be done, you know, decision-making is centralized, kind of makes sense, and an enterprise resource management system will help that. Okay, centralized decision-making. On the other hand, each clinic should also be able to individualize its service, okay, and its pricing, for example, okay, based on the local environment. You know, if there's a clinic in an area where, you know, there are very few young people, okay, and so they're all older people who all own cats, then you know, maybe the local clinic could say, we specialize in cats. See what I'm saying? So maybe some decision making should be centralized to the clinic managers. Yes?
Yes, and this also probably within the context that it was what was mentioned before, that the clinics vary in size. There are some which are very small, there are some which are much bigger, and then it's quite difficult, let's say, to centralize all of this.
Good. Yes, good. So clinics. So if a big clinic can afford to sell the service at a cheaper price than the central price, then maybe they should be allowed to do that. Business management software used by PVS. Record client patient information and schedule consultation. Off-the-shelf packages have been used for 8 years. I mean, what do we think of that? Well, off-the-shelf, not necessarily bad, you know, and if it's a standardized service that we're offering, and it's only a recording piece of software, and consultation scheduling software, you know, is there any need for it to be bespoke or tailor-made? Probably not. Okay. The website includes a search functionality which enables prospective clients to find clinics near them. Basic information about the services offered is included, as well as telephone contact details for consultations. The website also details the executive team and provides some limited information as mission and values. Sounds okay. Any comments?
Ashim, just on the software, you know, given how quickly technology moves on, does 8 years feel a bit dated? Could that be a concern?
It could be a concern, but usually when you buy an off-the-shelf package, it usually comes with updates included. We need to know more,
right?
But it's possible. So if it's not been updated, right, then yes, it would be a concern.
I added as a weakness in the analysis.
You put that in as a weakness?
I put as a weakness.
Yeah, okay. I mean, fair enough. It's fine. It's not a problem doing that. Okay. Any comments on the website?
It was very basic. I mean, there's a lot more that can be done.
Like
shows
what?
the younger. I think targeting the younger demographic, and you know, maybe having chat functions on there, so potential customers can come on and you know, look for answers that they need, and we can potentially collate that data to then carry out more effective advertising towards them and try and make them become our clients.
Yeah. Okay, so let's put that in as an opportunity. Yes, Arun?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So okay, good. Although emails are used within PVS and with suppliers, there is no facility for clients to communicate with clinics via email, and PBS has only very limited social media presence. So yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it? You know, so they pretty much have to go to the clinic or telephone them. Okay, so the chat facility would help. The online booking facility would help, but we've mentioned both of those. Also, very limited social media presence suggests that they should increase it to raise their profile. So some kind of social media strategy.
Could you
Yeah.
use like TikTok to showcase videos of really poor animals that were on the verge of dying, and the work that PBS have carried out, you know, to save these animals' lives.
Yeah.
Again, just, you know, targeting that younger demographic, because youngsters these days, they just want to use social media and apps. They don't want to pick the phone up to anyone.
No, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. And so I would put that into a social media strategy, including things like what you've just mentioned. Absolutely. So should we put that in as an opportunity? What's it called? Oh gosh, it's just gone out of my head. What's it called when you're top of the list of Google searches? Search engine optimization. That's it. Okay. So there's quite a big opportunity there, I think, for them. And they haven't made any investments in technology. Well, hang on. So staff intranet, which includes news about what's happening internally and in the wider industry, information and resources for staff, and an area for blogs, which is great. Yes, we like that. That's a strength. Don't know if we put that into the thing. Anyone put that into the strength? Staff intranet. So this is a sharing of knowledge. It's a way of retaining knowledge, which can then be leveraged by new employees and also for development of existing employees, right? Also, of course, it makes the staff feel better, right? Because they feel part of a team, right? They don't feel isolated. They feel part of a team. So it's a good retention element as well, component. Services. All right. Size of clinic determines wider range, blah, blah, blah. Smaller cannot carry out. Patient is referred to a larger PBS, all right, in the same. Little innovation in recent years. And no, there haven't been any new service offerings. Okay. So we've talked about innovation, and we've talked about technology, we've talked about differentiation through the use of, by selling additional products and so on. Okay, so I'm not going to repeat myself. They're open for 8:30 to 5:30, but there is emergency cover available. Also, there's no weekend here. You know, most people are working during the week, especially young people, I suppose. Okay, so that's a weakness, right?
Yes, but I mentioned in the weaknesses. It's like 3 rows above, I think. No,
Right.
in the short Word document with the weaknesses, I input this
Oh,
point.
we already have it?
Yeah. It's like if you go
Oh, yeah.
up.
Yeah, there you go.
rows,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So open weekends. Should. Okay. To attract and retain clients in an increasingly competitive market, PVS started the plan 2 years ago. Annual vaccinations, other routine treatments for a monthly fee, payable by direct debit. Clients who join the plan known as members can also pay for the cost of expense at a later date, although this has an impact on the cash flows. The retention rate of plan members as clients is higher than that of clients who are not plan members. So clearly this is a differentiator, but we've already picked that up as an opportunity. So again, I don't think we need to repeat that. PVS has to date relied on the visibility of its town centre locations, the word of mouth recommendations to attract new customers. Marketing activities have been limited to posters and clinics and advertisements in local papers. Well, again, we need a social media strategy, and we've picked that up. Suppliers, PVS sources all medication supplies needed for pet treatment from Ireland Vet Supplies, the largest in Ireland. Now, as soon as you read something like this, what are you thinking?
That they are totally dependent on one supplier, and then
Good,
it
yeah.
depends whether they have some contingency plans or not, if there's some issue with this supplier.
Good. So the supplier has high levels of bargaining power because they're buying everything from this one supplier. It's not a good position to be in. On the other hand, they are putting in substantial orders because they're purchasing centrally by head office, and therefore they get good discounts. All right, but it's a potential threat if these guys decide to increase their prices, then it might actually make life for us more and more difficult. I don't think we have this in here. I'm going to put it in here. Bargaining power of supplier. We want to find a way of increasing switching costs, yes? So that they find it more expensive to go to somebody else, or stop supplying us and supply someone else. Pet food and accessories are sourced from a number of pet food suppliers, including the Glow House Group, which owns a number of brands and purchased directly by individual clinics. Well, why are they not centralized? Yeah, it's a weakness, I think.
And on top of that, they are buying from one of the competitors, in fact.
On top of that, they're buying for a competitor. Yeah, exactly. So pet foods should be purchased centrally from a known competitor. Yeah. They've got a risk register and risk management program responsible for internal audit function. We like that. All right, extract a risk register shown below. Now, you know, whenever they show you a risk register, you know that there's, you know, a chance of you getting a question on risk is very high. Okay, and risk can be connected with internal audit, with board structures, with independence, okay, with risk analysis, yeah, heat maps and stuff like that, or risk mitigation. So there's, you know, there's quite a lot of areas it can connect to. So make sure you're experts on risk. Main risk: competition, key employees, health and safety, adverse publicity. Okay. Nothing particularly new and exciting there, I think. Clearly, we need to be, our internal audit function's job will be to make sure that we comply with legislation, and our quality control needs to check that we don't make mistakes in diagnosis and treatment. But we picked that up when we said we can, you know, we can buy, or we can recommend that our customers buy online, or no, sorry, beg your pardon. We can use AI to make some kind of diagnosis, but that would have to be quality controlled by an individual, by an expert, yes? So that would be an example of a way of avoiding these mistakes. Okay, financial summary. Yeah, it's been going down, hasn't it, revenue? What's that say, 165? So it went from 185 at a peak to 165. So that's 1/9, which is about 16%, something like that, in 4 years. It's quite a lot. Same with satisfaction, also decreasing. Notice, obviously, there's a direct connection between the two. And the worrying thing is that both the staff satisfaction and client satisfaction are reducing at the same pace. Especially if you look at X2 and X3. Right? So our staff are getting less happy with us, which is very concerning. And when they get less happy, our clients get less happy. That's what it means. Okay, staff turnover. Well, as they get less happy, they leave. So again, major threat, we've already picked that up in our SWOT. And number of new clients, we're losing them to our competitors. We've also picked that up in our SWOT. So it's gone from 16 to 7 in 4 years. That's a lot. That's a drop of 50%, more than 50%. Okay. Now with the numbers, I don't think, you know, don't sit there and do ratios or anything like that. Don't do any number crunching at this stage, because you might not need it. Okay. But it's good to kind of just do a review, make sure you picked up all the main issues that these numbers are showing you, and I think we have. So just leave it. In the exam, if we need to refer to them, we know where to find them. It's a website extract. Yeah, what do we think about these objectives?
Yeah, I think there's a huge discrepancy between what they state on the website and the way they, let's say, perform and operate, which was seen in on the earlier pages.
Yeah, they're not moving towards their objectives very well, are they? Certainly. So something is going wrong. Okay. We don't know when the founder left, when he retired, but it may be that basically it's starting to lose its way since he's gone. And so maybe that's another reason we need a non-executive chair and non-executive directors to guide the strategy towards achieving these objectives. Right? Our values, teamwork and collaboration, well, we have an intranet, that helps. Honesty and integrity, well, we don't know, but we assume so. First-class service. Understanding and fulfilling the individual needs of our stakeholders. Well, we're not doing that very well, unfortunately, otherwise we wouldn't be losing them. All right. That's it, I think. Any questions? Can I close the case study now? Anyone want to say anything else about the case study before I close it? Okay, I'm going to close the case study and the SWOT.